So in the previous lesson, we ended up with some nice setup where we have a job that builds the scheme binary, then it uploads the binary as an artifact, and then we have another job where it first downloads that binary and then runs it. But we saw that we need to give it some input, so that's what we'll do this time. We'll try using this input. So the input for the data input will be some root file that's in the EOS storage. We'll give it some output file name, some cross-section, integrated luminosity, and scale. So let's go ahead and open our YAML file and add this info. So if we go over here, let's copy and paste all of this. Okay, look. And then let's save it. Let's add it and commit this, the change. And let's push it to GitHub. Do actions and let's see what's happening. Let's wait a second until all of this runs. Okay, so now all the jobs finished and we see that there was some error. Let's click here to see what happened. So it's telling us that we're unable to retrieve this root file because it has restricted access. So this is something you might commonly run into if you're using CERN data. This is because the data is protected and you need to authenticate yourself using Kerberos. By the way, if you're not a CERN user, what you can do is you can replace this input file by this other input file, which is in public storage, and you can simply skip the rest of this lesson. But if you are a CERN user, then it is useful to learn how to use these files that are restricted under some Kerberos authentication. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to log in using our CERN username and password by using kinit. The way we'll do this is by echoing our password and then piping it into kinit with our username here and at cern.ch. But of course, we don't want to just simply put our password here, because then this YAML file is going to be in some repository that is public and everyone is going to see our password. So we'll have to do something else. This is where GitHub secrets come in. The way they work is that they allow you to save some private information and then use this private information within GitHub Actions. So the way we'll set up these secrets is as follows. So first, what we'll do is we'll go here to our repository, we'll go to settings, then we will go to secrets and variables, and then actions, and then here we will create a new repository secret. So first we'll create user_name, and then here you will input your username. And then similarly, you will again go to new repository secret. You will write user_pass and then type your password. I'm gonna pause the recording so that I can input mine. And then you'll hit add secret. So in the end, you should end up with two secrets, username and user pass. So then what we will do is we will go back to our YAML file, and then we'll be able to log in using this command. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's open our YAML file, and before we use the binary here, let's log in. So let's add a step. Let's add a new step where we log in. Let's call it access control. And then the command that will run is this one over here. So what this will do is that it will retrieve both the user pass and the username that we set as secrets, and it will use them here. Some things that you should keep in mind is that if you try to, for example, echo a secret to like print it to the terminal, by default GitHub will block it out, but you should still be careful to try to not print secrets, because if the secret gets sort of like mangled in some way, you can end up printing your password or some secret information. So you should still be careful with this. In this case we should be safe because we're piping this into this command, so then everything should be fine. So now that we have this, let's save and let's make a new commit. Oops, I need to add the file, and then let's push. So now if we go to our repository, let's go to actions again, and let's wait for the jobs to run. Okay, so now the jobs finished running, and we see that now it worked well. We can look at the logs and see that everything looks good. So the last thing we'll want to do is that now that we can run through some data, we produce this scheme ggh.root output file. So let's add it as an artifact. Let's upload it as an artifact so we can then use it for something else. So let's open our YAML file. And let's add one last step. Let's simply copy and paste this. And then let's save. Let's add the file, make a new commit. And then let's push it. Let's go over here to GitHub, and you'll see that adding them as an artifact is convenient, because then we can manually download the artifacts we uploaded from here. So if our workflows produce some useful output, we'll be able to just download it to our computer For example, if let's say you were producing a Python package and our workflow builds a wheel, then we'll be able to just manually download the wheel and do whatever we want with it. So let's wait until this job's finished. Okay, so now that the job's finished, we see that everything worked well. And now we see over here that it says 3 artifacts. If we click here, let's see. Well, let's go over here. If we go here to summary, you'll see that in artifacts, it uploaded the scheme.ggh file that we produced. So now we'll be able to download it if we want. And that's it for this lesson. I will see you in the next one.